Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday, April 6th, and we have a couple of meetings to tell you about today. Our first meeting is at 9:30 this morning, and it is the VMS Board regular session, and that will be held in the Willow Room. And then this afternoon at 1:30 is the GRF Mobility and Vehicles Committee meeting. That will be in the boardroom. And on our show today, we have live in our studio Dan Oweiler, who is here on behalf of Sterling Financial. Then we have Dr. John Hovannessian with Harvard Eye, and he's going to put some drops in my eyes, and we're going to check out what it's like to, believe it or not, read up close. So really cool technologies coming down the pike these days. All right, let's take a look at our weather. Well, we are looking at very, very warm. The next few days, we are in a heat advisory for the next 3 days. Today, we are looking at 90-61. Tomorrow, 94-67. Friday, 94-65. And then we drop considerably on Saturday, 79-58. And then on Sunday, again, another big drop, 67-60. So we're just looking for those heat advisories for those 3 days. So be advised of that. And be careful when you're out in the sun. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:32, and our sunset will be at 7:15. And thank you to Hope for sending in this beautiful picture of a succulent. I just love the colors. It's just beautiful. So thank you for sending that in. And if you have a photo that you would like to share with our community, please email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, when we come back, we've got Dan Oweiler here, and we are going to talk about some regulations by the IRS. So stick around.
Has hearing others been more difficult lately? If so, it might be time to look into hearing aids. But how do you know which hearing aid is right for you? At Hearing Remedy, we offer a free hearing aid test drive, a hassle-free way to find the perfect hearing aid for you, a no-pressure process that truly puts you in the driver's seat. Here's how it works. Contact Hearing Remedy to schedule an initial hearing evaluation. We'll check your hearing, and if the results show that you could benefit from hearing aids, we will fit them to you the same day with no commitment or deposit required. Take them for a test drive around the house, out on the town, and any place that you typically have trouble hearing. Come back in a week, and if it's not improving your life, we'll fit you with another hearing aid until we find the perfect one for you. It's really that easy. Call Hearing Remedy to schedule your risk-free hearing aid test drive today.
Silver
and gold. Consider it sold.
The Jewelry Box Estate buyers will buy your jewelry, fine timepieces, flatware, and more. With metals at an all-time high, now is the time to sell. If you need to sell, refurbish, or appraise jewelry and watches, the experts at the Jewelry Box Estate buyers are here to help. Come and visit us at our new location.
At the Jewelry Box, it's about trust.
Hi folks, this is Dan Oweiler with Sterling Financial Advisors. We've been around for a long time, been on This Day with Lisa, and just wanted to know that we're still in business, even through the pandemic. We still have the opportunity to now meet with people individually, in person, and we'd like to invite you to give us a call if it would make some sense. If you're doing some planning for retirement, please give us a call. We'll be happy to meet with you. Thanks so much.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Dan Oweiler here from Sterling Financial. Hi.
How are you, Lisa?
Good. How are you?
I was watching the picture of that flower or whatever bush.
The succulent.
I wish I could grow like that. You know,
Well,
all my stuff dies.
Oh, shoot. Well, you know what? Succulents are probably the easiest to keep alive, so you need to get one of those.
Just water and they take care of
Barely
themselves?
any water. They are very
well,
drought tolerant.
I probably need some of those.
You need some of those. All right, so we were talking actually off camera, and you know, every time the IRS comes up with something, it always is a convoluted thing, right? So here we're talking about the IRS Secure Act, and there's some regulations that went into place. First of all, tell me what this is.
Okay, so first of all, the IRS tax code is about 3,000 pages, or
Of course it is.
50,000 pages. I don't know how long it is, but anyway, distributions for IRAs are in a publication called 590 of the IRS code.
Okay.
And 590 of the IRS code is about 150 pages of small print that tells you how to take distributions from retirement accounts.
Okay.
IRAs, 401ks,
Right.
403bs, any type of retirement plan that you have to take what is called required minimum distributions.
And that's always the case.
That's always been the case,
Okay.
but in 2019, when the Secure Tax Act was passed at the end of 2019, they changed how distributions took for what they call designated beneficiaries.
Okay.
So they established two classes of beneficiaries: eligible designated beneficiary and non-eligible. You know, you and I talked about it always has to be so technical.
Yeah.
Why can't we just make it simple? Well, the IRS never does anything that's simple. It used to be that when you left money to a beneficiary, they could take it just like you did over their lifetimes.
Okay.
So based upon your life expectancy, you had a factor that you had to divide your retirement account into. And I mean, long story short, you had to take required distributions.
Yeah.
Well, that changed with that Secure Act.
Okay.
Now they have what is called eligible designated beneficiaries, which are spouse and children and disabled people or, you know, chronically ill. And non-designated beneficiaries, those are things like trusts or
sure.
just individuals that you know, nieces or nephews that you give it to.
Okay.
Depending upon which you are will depend upon how you take it out. And so it's changed a lot.
Okay.
And over the last 2 years or so, the IRS was very vague on whether or not you had to take out non-designated beneficiaries over the 10-year period, or if you could just wait for 10 years and take everything out.
I see.
So, you know, they've kind of clarified things and says, well, if you're a non-designated beneficiary, you have to take out a minimum amount each year, but it has to be liquidated by the end of 10 years.
Oh.
This is all technical stuff for your residents here that they don't understand, and it's very difficult for advisors to really keep up with the IRS sometimes, but it's important to know that you can't just leave a retirement account to a person and expect them to have to spread it out over their lifetime, because it depends upon what kind of beneficiary they are.
So when they're doing, or they're speaking with you and maybe they're preparing a trust or something like that, this would be designated in that trust, is that correct?
Well, not necessarily, because you can leave, you know, a trust does not have a life expectancy. It's an entity, not a person.
Okay.
And so that a trust can never be an eligible designated beneficiary unless it's what they call a see-through trust. So it gets more technical than that.
Right.
But that's why you pay somebody to do it correctly for you.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's kind of like I can do my own will or trust.
Yeah.
But you generally are going to pay somebody to do that for you.
Right.
It's all this is technical garbage until you sit down with somebody and they can kind of explain it to you a little bit easier.
Right, and that's why we have you here, because you're
Well,
going through all of that for
I don't
us.
know about that. I was noticing up on the screen that they had all the things you were supposed to read. And that's just gobbledygook to people.
Well,
you know?
exactly. I mean, I think the important thing, like you just said, is that you're here to help us, you know, kind of weed through all of these things. Let me ask you this. So if on your 401k, or you're designating beneficiaries. So let's say I designated, my daughter to be my
Okay.
recipient, right?
Okay.
So I pass, and now she has to do what?
She has to take what they call required minimum distributions.
Okay.
And it's based upon her age at the time.
I see.
So let's assume that you had $100,000 in your IRA account.
Okay.
And her life expectancy factor is 35.
Okay.
She would have to divide 35 into 100,000, and that's how much she would have to take out. So it's probably
And is that monthly, or how does that work?
no, on an annual basis.
Oh, on an annual basis. Oh, I see.
And they can take that monthly as long as
Gotcha.
it adds up to the amount that she's supposed to take.
Got it.
And so it's a little bit technical, but the IRS is never simple,
Well, no. So why did they change it? What was the purpose?
Well, they wanted more tax money.
Of course they did.
Okay, so rather than, now they came up with these non-designated or non-eligible beneficiaries. They have to take it out over 10 years versus their lifetime. So if you left it to your niece who wasn't a child,
Yeah.
okay, or your child,
Yeah.
they would have to take it out over 10 years
Okay.
versus over their lifetime.
I see.
So they're kind of saying, okay, we're going to get our money sooner rather than later.
Okay, but then also it might go along with the same lines as having the IRS watch, right? They're now only having to look at it for 10 years as opposed to
Right.
maybe 30 years.
Right.
I
and
see.
when you say watch, that's a relative term, Do they watch you file your taxes? No, but if you get audited,
Right.
they're not going to watch you and determine whether or not you took out your required minimum distributions, but
Right.
if you get audited, then there's penalties and things like that. Speaking of penalties, if you don't take your required minimum distribution, there's a 50% penalty.
Oh, yikes.
So if she was supposed to take out $3,000 for the year and she didn't do that, it's a $1,500 penalty, plus she still has to take out the required distributions, which creates more tax.
Oh.
So you don't want to forget taking out your required
No,
minimum
and
distribution.
That's kind of like, don't forget to uncheck a box.
Right, right.
If you're going to have renewals of some payment every month. See,
Correct.
That's kind of weird, but
Correct.
it's understandable because that's just the way it goes with the
Well,
IRS.
distributions from retirement accounts is much different than distributions from a regular
Right.
brokerage account or
Right.
something like that. You can
Okay.
take it out and not have any problems. Retirement accounts are a special animal, and you
Yeah.
kind of have to be careful on that.
Okay.
And a lot of times we're talking about this with our seminar people, and they didn't even know that you had to take money out of your retirement
No,
accounts.
in fact, I just heard about that the other day, and I'm like, oh, you do? So yeah, so
Right,
really
right.
good stuff.
Right.
Now, if somebody wants to know more about this specifically, or of course to contact
I wouldn't
you.
want to know more about it specifically.
Well, I think you should if you've got folks who you're trying to designate your 401s to.
yeah, just generally speaking, most of the time, if for your own 401k, let's say, and you turn age 72 when you
Right.
have to start taking those out,
Yeah.
your custodian should be telling you how much you have to take out every year.
Okay.
So you do that.
Okay.
You'll get a statement at the end of the year in December saying, okay, for 2023, you have to take out X amount of dollars.
I see.
That's up to you at that point.
Right.
But they've just informed you
Gotcha.
how much you have to take out. So
Right, but you're going to have to make sure you do it like you said. So.
I usually set it up automatically with my
Yeah.
clients. We'll say, okay, every April or every November, send them X amount of dollars for the required minimum distribution.
Yeah.
Goes right into their bank account, and we're satisfied. I have some clients that say, no, I want to do it myself, and that's okay. The problem with that is if the person that's doing it becomes sick
Oh, sure.
and the spouse doesn't realize it, and I've had that happen before, they miss it and then they have that penalty. So I generally like to set it up automatically, but people, have different opinions.
No, but see, I'm glad that you came in and helped us understand this because, obviously reading this.
Well,
it
I'm
just-
glad you understand it because I don't.
Well, okay then. I guess we're switching jobs. No, thank you so
No.
much. And of course, if someone wants to get in touch with you, they can always go to your website.
Sure.
As well as your phone number that's on our screen right now. And it's sterlingfa.com. And your phone number is 859-8900.
It is.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Good to be here.
Good to see you. All right. And of course, for all of the information we have just discussed, including the IRS Secure Act, you can always contact Sterling Financial at sterlingfa.com. We'll be right back.
Hi folks, this is Dan O'Weiler with Sterling Financial Advisors. We've been around for a long time, been on ThisDay with Lisa, and just wanted to know that we're still in business, even through the pandemic. We still have the opportunity to now meet with people individually, in person, and we'd like to invite you to give us a call if it would make some sense. If you're doing some planning for retirement, please give us a call. We'll be happy to meet with you. Thanks so much.
Welcome back. Well, not only am I excited to be here, but John Hovanessian, Dr. John Hovanessian is here from Harvard Eye, and he was so excited that he brought a sample of something that we have talked about before, and it's an eye drop that actually can help you to see up close. Well, welcome.
Thank you. I am so happy to see you here in your big, beautiful new studio. I love your desk. I would make a joke about your desk being as big as your ego, except you don't have an ego at all. You're as nice as you can be, but you got an
Welcome back, John.
desk.
Jeez. Well, it's nice to see you
You've
too.
been this big. You've been on Zoom all this time. So I brought you a present.
You did. All right, and we're going to do that now.
Vuity.
Vuity. I see tons of commercials for this now. I really do.
You know, so Vuity eye drops are the first FDA-approved eye drop designed to help you read without glasses.
Right.
And these drops, these are for you. This is a bottle now. We have, you know, we know that your eyes are healthy, and so you have to have an exam with a doctor to,
which we did.
You know, which you've been through. So we wouldn't just walk up to man on the street and you know, give a prescription medicine. But this is Vuity drop. I'm gonna put a drop in your left eye, and I hope I've got a tissue here somewhere under this giant desk for you.
I do, right here.
Perfect.
Right here.
And what that drop does, it'll take more time than we'll be talking, so we probably won't see its effect immediately, but I'm guessing by the end of the show, you'll be able to assess. Now, I'm only putting it in one eye, and often people will put this in both eyes when they're actually using it at home. In this case, I want to do that because in case you don't like the effect of it, I want your other eye, which is your dominant eye, to allow you to get through.
Why would I not like the effect?
Some people get a little bit of a headache from the medicine, or a little. That's right, my dear friend.
Thanks so much.
or you know, irritation, or you know, just a.
Well, you know, my eye was probably a little dry before you put that in, so it's a little stingy, but not too bad. And you know, and I'm just happy that if I can actually read with this eye and not have to wear my glasses, that's really quite a plus. How long does it last?
Yeah, so it'll last, you know, according to the FDA studies, 5 hours-ish. You know,
that's great.
That's right, and it'll get most people through most of a work day, or if you're going to be in a meeting and you want to not bring your reading glasses, those kinds of things, it'll easily get you through most of those kinds of experiences. So, you know, again, this is the first of the approved products. There are about 8 different companies that are working toward this type of technology, and more will be coming, you know, perhaps within the year or next year.
That's great. And then you guys are using this now. Like I said, I saw a lot of commercials for it, so they could try it. I mean, do you have samples at your place they could try?
We have limited samples, and we're happy to give them to patients when we have them.
Okay, great.
We only get so many, but a sample is a good way to start. There's a cost for it. Unfortunately, no insurance covers it. Cost at the pharmacy is probably in the neighborhood of $60 to $80. It's worth shopping around a little bit.
Yeah.
On goodrx.com, you can look up prescriptions. But it is, you know, for many people, that's just a small price to pay.
Well, exactly. All right, well, this is awesome. So we'll give you an update on what this is like later.
And we can already see it's beginning to work a little bit in your left eye because your pupil is a little smaller in your left eye, and that's exactly how this works. Can we get an extreme close-up on Lisa to to show that.
Extreme close-up. Here, I'll look in
over
this
here.
one right here.
And
Can
you
you
can
see the
bring it in.
difference in my eyes?
Can you
But
see
you
the
know,
difference in her
other
pupils?
things make your pupils really small too. So if I was
There
to
it
be
is. It's
pulled
a-
over by a car.
Yeah, it's a little hard to see in the reflection of the studio lights, but her left pupil, point at your left side, so your left pupil is a little bit smaller than your right. Yeah, hard to see here, but I can see it.
But nonetheless, you can see it, and
Yeah,
we'll give
yeah.
this a test and see
It's
how
working.
it goes.
It's beginning to work.
All right,
It'll take
excellent.
15, 20 minutes.
Well, you know, obviously, you know, your vision is
Yeah.
one of your most
Everything.
important aspects of your
Yeah.
life, and many people suffer from so many different things. Like, what is myopia?
Right. Yeah, well, what myopia is like one of the most confusing and misunderstood medical conditions.
Yeah.
Myopia is nearsightedness, of course,
Oh,
and what it
which
refers
is-
to is when somebody, their eyes are set for a distance focal point that's close.
Yeah.
What that means is, you know, you can see things up to that focal point, but beyond it, things are very, very fuzzy.
Uh-huh.
And so that's myopia. It's nearsightedness, and the
It
glasses.
sounds much worse than it actually is.
It's a good name. The glasses, if you look through them at arm's length, make things small. They minify
yeah.
images, and that's a characteristic of
Okay.
nearsighted. Whereas farsighted is kind of the opposite.
Right,
If you hold up glasses,
That's hyperopia?
hyperopia. Very well said. That's good.
Wow, I
What a
tried.
great. See, you learned something about everything in
I've
your
learned
job.
something for the last 2 years, right?
So in hyperopia, people have more trouble with up close vision when they're younger. In fact, if you're a kid who's farsighted, you don't know you have a vision problem at all. You have the best vision of anybody on the block. But as your eye ages and it loses its ability to strain, the first thing you lose is reading vision. That happens to everybody in our 40s or 50s.
Hence our new little product, right?
You should be the new spokesmodel. You should be the spokesmodel for that eye drop. But so we lose our vision first up close, and then even far away it becomes difficult. It's hard to see with glasses. So that's hyperopia, and then astigmatism is here just to confuse everybody because it's neither one.
Right.
And astigmatism, everything is blurry, near and far, and it's because the shape of the eye, rather than being round, is sort of oval in its curvature,
You're right.
and that ovalness makes everything a little out of focus.
Right.
Glasses can correct it. LASIK surgery
Yeah.
can correct it.
Right.
In fact, even these drops will help to some extent for people who have astigmatism because it makes the pupil smaller. That's the way these medicines work, and that was sort of the corollary here for all of these types of refractive error. If you have a smaller pupil, your eye focuses with better depth of field. It's the same as with a pinhole camera or any optical system.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the strategy of these drops and most of the medicines that that are eye drops designed for treating nearsightedness.
Do you think that with these these types of drops, and I know we had discussed other drops that are coming down the pike, which literally could change the way your pupil is operating.
Yeah.
Do you think at some point we won't have glasses?
Yeah, we have thought that for a long time because we already have good technology. Certainly for some people, they'll want to wear glasses. Some people like the way they look. I hear patients say that, I want to cover up my bags under my eyes or whatever it is.
That's a perfect idea.
Yeah. Some people say, no, I don't want to wear the glasses because I don't want to see my wrinkles in the mirror.
Well, that too.
But we're at a state even now, I think, where people who don't want to wear glasses generally don't have to.
Okay.
Isn't that wonderful that we've got that kind of technology?
I know. We have lots of choices.
We
and
do.
I think that's important to have these kinds of opportunities. And one last thing real quick is, of course, you do an awful lot of cataract surgeries.
Yeah.
And just to give a quick idea of what people should be looking for.
So cataract is a clouding of the internal lens of the eye. We have a picture that kind of shows how it affects an image. It washes things out. People feel like they're looking through a veil. First symptoms usually are for people who, people describe that they have trouble when they drive after dark.
Yeah.
Or reading fine print. Even with glasses, it becomes harder. Cataract surgery replaces the lens of the eye with a new lens implant that never gets old, and it sets the prescription in the eye for the rest of the patient's life. So that means that whatever we set, whatever type of lens implant they choose, they get that vision forever. So we think very carefully about that choice, right? Because it's going to affect them forever. And there's costs that are not covered by insurance. So it's important to sort of do your homework, but talk to your doctor, because we've learned through thousands and thousands of patients that we've treated that some technology works well for some people, others don't work as well, and we can advise what makes sense.
Well, you have a team of amazing doctors, and there's lots of specialties within your operation, so I'm sure someone would be helped in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, we're very grateful to have been part of this community since 1974.
Yeah, well, you also just got an award, and I wanted to show what award that was along with your contact information. And congratulations. I mean, that's not an easy award to come by. A 2022 Physicians of Excellence. That's amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. It's nice to be recognized by our peers. We try hard to do the right thing, and we always appreciate the recognition that they give us. And it's been a great thing to be in this community, along with a lot of other wonderful eye doctors who are in the area here in Orange County and South Orange County particularly. So it was such a pleasure to be in the studio with you today.
Nice to see you again in person. So we'll have you back again, and we'll do some other experiments on me.
Yes, let's not have any pandemics or other disasters that keep us from coming in and seeing each other in the studio.
And I like the experiments here, so maybe next time we'll have another one.
Yes, thank you for being the last minute guinea pig.
All right, thank you so much.
Good to see you.
You too. And if you want more information about what we've just discussed, of course, you can always go to Harvard Eye Associates, and their website's harvardeye.com, or call them at 951-2020. We'll be right back. Let's take a look at the movies that we have coming up for you on Friday and Saturday. On Friday is a very fun one called The Book Club. I think you'll really enjoy it. And you can catch that at 2 and 6 p.m. on Friday, brought to you by Harvard Eye Associates. And then we have on Saturday Blue Skies, an oldie but a goodie with Fred Astaire. And it's a 1946 American musical comedy. Catch that on Saturday, 2 and 6 p.m. All right, one quick announcement is the Equestrian Center is having Easter celebration, and that is going to be on this Saturday, April 16th. If you want more information about that, you can always get in touch with Recreation at 597-4318. Let's take a look at our weather. Very hot today and the next few days. We do have a heat advisory in place, so do be careful when you are out and about, and of course, be careful when you're running your air conditioning, because you never know when we might have one of those rolling blackouts. All right, have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow right here at 9 a.m. on Village Television. Bye-bye.
Facts are frightening. 1 out of 3 people over 65 fall each year.
The idea of falling makes me very fearful.
I have a fear because my balance is poor.
The #1 reported accident for a senior is a fall.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. I want you to try 60 Up.
60 Up is the balance system that can change your life. If you have balance, strength, or mobility issues, you need 60 Up.
It's a miracle. Within a couple weeks, my balance has improved.
If you're feeling scared to get up and out, you need 60 Up.
It's easy to use and it works.
60 Up is a safe, low-impact balance exercise system with integrated poles. 60 Up strengthens your core, legs, increases cardio for energy, stamina, and overall physical health. Go to 60up.com. 60 Up has live classes, hundreds of workouts for balance, and thousands of people in our Facebook members community.
I created the 60 Up and it really works. So join me on my live classes and let me help you improve your balance and mobility together.
Try it risk-free for 30 days and get free shipping if you order now.
It changed my life.
Go to 60up.com. That's the number 60up.com.